Hello, guys, and welcome to our team call. I'm Pastor Ed Milad with Patched Away, and today we're going to talk about something that some of you guys may not see or think that is very exciting, that is compliance. But to tell you the truth, I've had my how can I say this? My appointments with compliance once, two, or maybe three times. And you know what? It has been lovely. It hasn't been something that you need to be scared of. Compliance is there to protect us. And we're going to talk about today and how that protection comes on as we're protecting the brand and LifeWave and our family and our future, right? So are you sharing LifeWave the right way? Okay, that is the question. And at the end of this presentation, I created four little really cool slides that I think that with a QR code that you're going to be able to give to your brand partners and have the actual compliance papers, the PDFs that is given to us through LifeWave. But of course, I packaged it up in a really pretty slide and pretty picture that you guys can have. So on our call or on our text or chat, please note that you want those slides and we'll be glad to hand them to you. So to get started, I'm going to say it like this: stay compliant and stay credible. And the reason I say this is because sometimes when we share our technology, we make such extraordinary claims that it almost seems like it's too good to be true. As I was talking to a neighbor of ours, and I was sharing the technology and how light, does wonderful things to our body. She was like, "This sounds like the Jetsons." And I don't know if you guys, I'm probably dating myself, if you know who the Jetsons were. The Jetsons were this out of space, in time in the future cartoon that put their food in a box and their food got warmed. They also talked on the phones with their little AirPods or ear pieces. And so it all goes back to all the technology that is actually we're living today. And that is a wonderful thing because those technologies are here. The future is here. And by staying compliant, we are really caring for the company. The essential guidelines for sharing LifeWave products responsibly. And we're going to protect the brand. We're going to share responsibly. We're going to educate our team. And we're also going to lead with integrity. All the reason why it's so important to know this is because as you take care of your business, the business will take care of you. And some of the things that we're going to be talking about today and we're going to be learning is the approved language, how wellness language should be used when it comes to social media, website developing, emails that you're putting out to a lot of people, what not to say. It's also important, right? How to word what your what the technology does, social media compliance, and there's actually rules and regulations that have been given to us. Now, when it comes to rules and regulation, nobody's going to sit there and do a presentation so pretty with colors and all that because it's kind of boring, right? But today we're going to give you, at the end of today's presentation, we're going to give you a really nice QR code with a picture of each and one of these wonderful rules and regulations that we need to abide by, right? Any business has those rules and regulations. I remember when owning businesses and stores ourselves, we had rule books that people had to sign, employees had to sign in order for them to participate and be employed. We also have X2O guidelines, guidelines that we need to follow, especially some of us are getting more of the X2O water machines and the tools that you share with your team, all that will be given to you today. And by being on the call, and I thank you guys for being on the call and listening to this video, you're going to receive all those. Now, this LifeWave presentation that I'm giving you is from our personal use, is from our Patched Away community. It might be, it might look to you that it's all packaged as it's coming from corporate, but I want you to know that is I'm a LifeWave partner. Okay, I'm a brand partner. And I'm giving you this information as has been given to me through our compliance conversations. And I just put all these ideas together so that nobody can get that call and that email actually that comes to you saying this is compliance and this is what you need to do, right? They're giving us a chance. And what I want you to tell you this too is that you got a chance to be able to make things right, right? So let's not be upset with them. They're doing their job, and we need to do our job. We signed the dotted line. We signed the rules of regulation. We authorized LifeWave that we wanted to be a part of that. And by doing that, it's not a contract, but you need to follow rules and procedures. And I want you guys to keep that in mind as to hear me through this presentation. When sharing LifeWave, always use language that is accurate, simple, and compliant. And you may say, well, I used to say this. Yes, you did. But now we need to say this. And the reason why is because it helps you. It would help you tremendously when you talking about health and wellness. Remember, it is an industry that is very well regulated. FTC, FDA, they come at our business. We're being audited every single year. Okay, so the company stays compliant so that we need to stay compliant with the company. Okay, so it's not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing for us. We need to focus on general wellness. I was on the phone with my web designer just a few hours ago too. So much to do, right? And I was telling him, yes, you can't put age reversal because that's not compliant. Think about it. When we first created our Patched Away website, we we just created it. I mean, were compliant procedures there for us, yes, but kind of like hardly anybody followed them. So now we need to follow those compliance, and we need to follow that language. We need to keep it simple, right? So the more simple you keep it, the better your clients are going to say, like, you're not exaggerating. When you exaggerate, that's when things get little muddy, right? And use approved wordings that have been given to us through LifeWave. So as we keep this conversation simple and easy, the customer is able, or your client, or whoever you're sharing this technology with, it's able to receive it better. Trust me, I've tried it. I tried to say the extravagant things, and then I tried to say just to test it, just because I'm a sucker like that. I love testing things. I love testing people and testing even myself. So when I do that, I get to experience the results, and the results are by far the best when you keep it simple, when you keep it compliant. So don't use medical claims, right? It's a big no-no. Don't do that because we're not doctors. And I'm so glad that even earlier in our career with LifeWave, we came across wonderful doctors like Dr. Christine and Dr. Caroline, who told us to be compliant from the very get-go. They didn't even take LifeWave to say it. They were more concerned about us and the liability of the things that we could or could not say to our clients. Especially, you cannot tell people not to do a procedure. You cannot stop somebody from wanting to do a surgery. You may say, well, I know somebody's that that didn't do that, and the other. Don't do that. And the reason why is because they can come back at you for liability. Liability meaning hold you responsible for whatever issue that they had because you told them, especially if you typed it on a text or email like that it could be proven by law. So be very careful with that, okay? And we never know who records us when we're on the phone. So protect the brand and stay compliant. Never make an ill claim or implied claim that our products treat, diagnose, prevent any disease or medical conditions. We say that always on our meeting, especially Nikki with her meetings. She always says that in the very beginning. But saying that, it's not enough if you don't stay compliant with the words that you're saying. You see what I'm saying? So you can say that and then pretend that you are going to talk about a disease. That's why we always, when we do in our meetings, we always ask you guys not to mention any disease because we're going to have to reply to that. And that makes a video non-compliant, and then we're going to have to edit it, and then we more than likely we won't put it out for the rest of the team to see it, right? So it's really important that we do that. Don't use stem cell activation. Don't use peptide wording. No healing and treatment claims. And you may say, well, wait a minute, our products do that, right? Our products are mentioned. We have the clinical studies and all that, but we can't say it. The reason why is not because LifeWave wants to put like a tie or chains around that, is because those industries in our country do not let us do that because of the industry that we're in. We're in health and wellness. Okay, so if you don't know how to say something, all you have to do is ask Google, Papa Google, or Uncle ChatGPT, Uncle Chat. It's it's so funny. We were in Hawaii last week, and I was with a real dear friend of ours, Irving, and he couldn't figure out the name of this plant that we were looking at. It was a beautiful plant with this seeds and this fruit that was coming down from it. And he says, "But I want to ask my uncle. He knows everything." And he answers me really quick. And I didn't know what he was talking about. So he took a picture and direct and like instantly he got an answer what the plant was and what kind of fruit it was and so forth. And I said, man, your uncle really loves you to answer you that quick. And he started laughing. He says, it's Uncle ChatGPT. So there are tools right now, and free tools, by the way, that you can use to say, hey, is this health and wellness compliant? If you're making an email or typing something that you're going to go on social media, especially with our app, on our LifeWave Now app, you can ask it if it's compliant, and it writes the words for you when it makes it compliant. So just be careful with that, right? And as you use the correct language, you're going to find that a lot easier to be able to share your technology. You may say, well, if we can't say these words anymore, if we can't say stem cell activation, or we can't say peptide activation, what can we say? There are so many ways of you saying to your clients how well you felt, how awesome vitality of life you have, quality of life. All those are words that represent basically the same thing, but you're not coaching it in the medical claim. Okay, so those are medical claims. And just so happened that a few years ago in Florida, there was a case that was brought to the courts, and in that case was known that the stem cell word itself is a medical claim. And so that's when everything went awry for us because, we couldn't use that word. But when you use the product and you share this technology with people, a lot of things change, okay? And uh, you'll find me, and I find myself sometimes just pausing, because I want to say something that I'm so used to saying, and I just come back and think about it and say, you know what? If I'm going to say this, I'm not going to make this comment compliant. So it's better hold it and don't say, especially when it's being recorded and was being shared online. The boundaries that we have is not everything is meant to be shared publicly. Okay, now watch this, because we are so blessed to be able to have David and the corporate team to be able to do those meetings for us once a month. There are not a lot of companies that do that. The CEOs, the owners of the companies, they're out everywhere and you hardly hear from them. But we always hear from David. So one of the things that was brought to my attention is that we can't, if you miss the connect calls that are happening on Wednesdays or Tuesdays, um, they're not be if it's not compliant, it's not being put out by LifeWave, and so we don't get to watch it on repeat. Now, of course, you have early at 2 o'clock Eastern time that you can watch at 2 o'clock p.m., or I believe 9 o'clock p.m. That's the replay, but we can no longer record it because it's meant to be internally for us, the brand partners. The reason why is because if David was able to be free to speak about things, he wouldn't share a lot of things that he does, or the corporate team, because it will be coached in the language that is not compliant to be out in public. So what LifeWay has asked of us to do is, if you want to share it, you got to edit it. You got to edit the video. Not a lot of us are privy enough to be able to have programs that could edit images or edit videos, but you have to edit, you have to cut things out in order to make it compliant for us to be able to share. So it says no full webinar upload. So if you notice, we haven't uploaded a lot of webinars out there. Now, when LifeWave posts them on their YouTube channel, it's because it's already been edited, it's been ready for us to share it. So when we see it in our LifeWave, I believe it's called Health and Wellness. I forgot what the name of the YouTube channel that LifeWave does. When they put it there, then it is pretty much compliant because they have edited. Also, avoid technical internal language. The language that has been given to us is not, it's for us to receive them as brand partners, but it's not for us to be able to give out to the public. And keep in mind, things that are said in public and things that are said in private are two different things. Okay. I'm going to leave you to that one. Internal training is not for public marketing. Okay. So meaning the videos that they do and a lot of the videos that we have to be edited. So when we edit them, meaning we take out words that are not necessarily compliant. So it's a lot of work. Like in a 1 hour video, it could take you 4 to 5 hours to edit, cut it, splice it, bring it back together cohesively so that it makes a good video. So that's why it takes time to do it. That's why be careful and know that you have boundaries. Words to avoid. Now, some of the things that we need to avoid are like anti-aging, age reversal. In our website, we did have a section, especially on our homepage, that said age reversal with GHK CU. And so I had to remove that and I had to make it sound wellness or health and wellness and things like that so that we couldn't be, because when you say age reversal and even the word pain, believe it or not, is a pain in the butt, right? Even the word pain is actually a medical claim. So we have to use words like discomfort, you know what I mean? Or just be creative about the words that you're using and use your uncle and use Uncle Google or Papa Google and your Uncle Chat. Those are really good ways of helping you to get there. And if you don't know how to use those websites, please ask me at the end of this presentation and I'll be happy to show you how to do it. It's very simple. Don't use words like miracle, right? Don't use words like cures. Why? Because you're claiming, right? You're claiming things and we shouldn't use those words. Now, if you're talking to somebody individually, that's your call. I would say just don't exaggerate words, don't exaggerate things, because when people start using the products, I'm going to say something, and I'm not going to. I was going to say I'm going to guarantee you, but you can't even say that because we are using claims. Okay, so be very careful with that. Again, anti-aging is avoid claims that are related to slow or reverse aging process because we're claiming wellness. We're claiming age and trust me, it could become difficult, but if you use it as a game, if you use it something like, you know what, now I've been put in an obstacle and I'm going to jump this hurdle. Together with me and with us together, we can be able to jump this hurdle and eventually have the clients and you be able to share this technology with the rest of the world and you're not going to have to worry about anything. So why does this matter? It says these words can be seen as medical claims. Okay, and may violate LifeWave's policies and regulation guidelines. So if those things violate, guess what happens? You have 3 days to fix them. And if you can't fix something, if you can't go back onto your Facebook page or Instagram or whatever, and you can delete them, they will close your account, or they will suspend your account. Okay, now what does that mean? When you can't get into your back office, you can't get into to be able to place orders or see reports and see where you're at. And that could be detrimental to your business. Has it been done to me? Yes. Um, it happens. I was worried, I was worried that I wasn't going to be able to make orders that I need to make orders for my clients. And I moved really quick and was able to make those changes. And instantly, now I'm not going to answer for everybody. It's not going to be the same. That things vary, right? But I was just very thankful that my compliant agent was able to restore my website right away. It was on a Friday. So can you imagine? I wouldn't have Friday night, Saturday, Sunday without my back office. That could be very, very hurtful. For some people, might not be able to take it, and they'll just go, you know what? I don't need this. I'm going to move on. And so you don't want that. So when you're bringing in a new client, make sure that you send them this video. You don't even have to know how to say it or do it. You just click on, say, you know what? I'm going to send you a video that's going to help you with the words and the compliance that you need to do. And basically let us do the work and then you be better off. Now, there are some things that you need to know about the X2O and the usage, the rules, and the guidelines that there are. You need to use this as a personal use. And what does that mean? Like if it's in the office, you can't give it to people, you can't sell it. You can't sell the water individually. Why is that? Because if you could sell it, that means it has to be regulated. And we cannot give you licenses like alcohol licenses and things like that, right? It just doesn't happen. So what you do is you can give it away. And that's what it's designed for. If you're in a medical office, you can give it away to have your customers taste and know what this technology can actually do to their cells, right? You can't bottle it. It doesn't matter what kind of bottle it was, a white bottle, clear bottle, a dark bottle. You just can't bottle it. You can give it away. And of course, if you're saying, like some of you guys on the call may say, well, I need to travel to a certain place. Can I put it in a bottle and give it to somebody? As long as you're giving it away, you'll be fine. But just be careful that they're not receiving this bottle and thinking that that's the way that LifeWave sells it, because they don't. The company sells the unit. Okay, so just be very thoughtful about that. And it's if we have an accountant on our call tonight, so when you have a machine like this, there's ways of be able to use it for a tax exemption. There are rules, right? Everything's rules. So you can't have if you start selling the bottles for $5 or $10 or whatever, then is that going to be regulated with the IRS, because you're making an income. So you have to be very careful. There's rules everywhere. You just have to make sure that you know how to follow them, right? No health claims or guarantees. Do not make claims about the detoxification, diseases, or medical conditions when are sharing this technology with people. Follow up all guidelines and always follow LifeWave policies and compliance standards. There are PDFs already written for us that we need to follow. And the really cool thing about this PDFs is that it tells you what to say and what not to say, and how to go around and helping people so you can share this technology with others. Share responsibly, right? Just a compliance reminder is that your commitment and compliance protects our brand and ensures that we can continue making positive impacts together. And I love that statement because we are one team, one dream, right? We can do a lot of things together when we're together, but when we're separated and being ourselves on the side, then things can happen. Another thing that I want to say to you too is if you buy a machine, and this is not given to any particular person, but it kind of reminded me of somebody that we brought in the business a couple years back, and nothing to do with the water. And the main thing that they wanted to think about was, how many days do I have till I can return it and get my full money back? So when you have somebody in that mindset, what it does to your mind, and I was talking about in the Spanish Zoom with Lorenzo, that when your mind can receive, your body perceives, and it doesn't know if it's a lie, it doesn't know if you're joking, it just receives it as reality, whether you think it or whether you say it. Romans 12:2 talks about how we need to renew our mind. And renewing the mind is not just a concept of, oh, just think funny thoughts or think great thoughts. No, it's actually, if you have in your mind the things that, oh, I'm going to return something because I know it's not going to work, then you're already telling your body that what you're using is not going to work. So you might as well not even buy it. You might as well not do anything with it. And I'm saying this for a reason. I'm saying this because I want you to train your mind to receive goodness, train your mind to receive wellness. And as you train your mind, then your body's going to align with it. And this is no woo-woo or new age movement stuff. This is biblical. God told us that at the treasures of our mouth, the tongue speaks, right? So when you speak, you are able to create. And God created us in his image so that we can also create. I'm, as a jewelry designer, love to create. And when we create, we are actually giving God glory. So remember about that. It's not a preaching moment. It's just something that I want you to think about. The social media do's and don'ts. This is really critical and important. The social media is a powerful way to connect and inspire people all the way around the world. So you have to be responsible in what you're saying, right? Whether it is your personal page or whether it's a business page, always stay compliant. Do this, share your personal experiences. You know, even the scripture tells us that that we defeat the enemy by the blood of the lamb, the word of our testimony, that we don't love our life unto death. Now, I want to stick with the second one, our testimony. Our testimony is so powerful, guys. And what this technology can do to you is incredible. So stick to your personal testimony and keep it compliant. Very simple. Use approved product names and product materials. Focus on general wellness and lifestyle. Don't have to say, I had this disease, X, Y, and Z, and now I don't have it. So that creates a problem, especially on social media. Positive, be respectful, be professional, and follow all of the policies that have been given to us. And I keep repeating that for a reason. You know, you might be able to get it 7 different times, 7 different ways from 7 different people, right? When in doubt, ask before you post. If you don't know, ask your uncle or your papa. If you don't have an uncle and your papa, I'm going to introduce him to you at the end of today. Don't do medical claims. Okay, don't make medical claims. Don't make promises that you cannot keep. Compare LifeWave products or other products or brands. Okay, don't share before and after pictures. Those testimonies are very no-no. Okay, and you might have them, and we used to share them before, and I was just like the way that we used to because we didn't know any better. But now I'm telling you, for much has been given, much is required. Now you know, and you'll be like, man, I wish I didn't watch this video. But see, it's okay. It's good to have knowledge so that you don't make mistakes, right? So my people perish because of the lack of knowledge. So I want you to have that knowledge. Don't use income claims, right? Don't use business opportunity guarantees. Don't say that I was like this and now I'm like that because I have so much money now. Don't do stuff like that because you're making claims. Don't use photos or videos or content without proper permission. If you don't know, send it to your upline, send it to compliance. There's compliance at lifewave.com. It's a very simple email. You can say to them, can I share this? Now, would I agree or tell you to do that? Maybe not, because you'd be opening a whole can of worms that you don't want to do that later. But actually, talking to an upline is a lot easier. And trust me, we'll get back to you as soon as possible. We were away and I was still texting. I was still managing our business and our clients and our brand partners, even when we were away. Don't share confidential information or internal documents. Okay. That's very, very important. Post content that could damage the LifeWave brand. Don't talk or bad talk about LifeWave. Why does it do that? Because it's going to jeopardize your own business. And another thing, I know there's some pictures of celebrities using this technology. And again, we used to use that before. We don't have them anymore. Celebrities are very weird when it comes to them being having their images out there and not receiving proper compensation for it. So don't use them because they have not been approved unless LifeWave has approved. And now, I believe LifeWave had a website before. Not sure if they're still on or not, but there was a part of a page on the website that shows professional um, athletes using the technology. Of course, those are approved because LifeWave uses them. Okay. So, and at the end of this presentation, I might be able to shoot you guys a text or show you where that is so that you can find it. Again, share responsible. Be thoughtful about before you sharing something. You may say, well, my hands are tied now. I can't say anything on social media. Guess what? 9.9% of the sales and the sharing of this technology is face to face or phone by phone. Right, Miss Kim? That's the way that we share it, right, Mary? That's the way that we did it, right, Vicky? And I'm saying this names because you guys are on the call, and this is how we share the technology. It didn't take social media. For somebody to be able to be a social media influencer that you're talking to millions of people at one time and they're receiving whatever it is that you're selling, they're just gobbling it up. None of us on the call are like that. Now, those people that might be on their YouTube channel watching this, you guys might be social media influencers, and we have social media influencers in LifeWave that make every trip because a lot of people buy from them, but not all of us are like that. So again, just be careful how you say things and the way that you post things. Be very careful, and that way you won't get an issue with compliant. Staying compliant protects everyone. So compliance is not them with a rule, it's a commitment to your customers, our brand, and to each other. When we're staying compliant, we're protecting not just ourselves, we're protecting our business. And I want you to think about it that way, because if we protect our brand, if we protect our business, if we protect our channel and our industry, then we're all going to be given positive vibes, reviews, or whatever, because we're not in trouble. And that's what I want you guys to think about. So promoting LifeWave the right way, we are independent brand partners, right? And as I said in the beginning of this presentation, at the end of it, we're going to be giving you some PDFs or pictures that you'll be able to have, but also we're not doctors. We're not medical professionals. Some of you guys watching this video might be medical professionals and might be able to say things, but even as a medical professional, they have to be mindful of the guidelines set to us by LifeWave. So just because some people are medical professionals doesn't mean that they can say anything that they want. Actually, they're more careful because of liability. So promote with integrity, educate with purpose, and empower everybody naturally. Stick to the facts. Okay, stick to the things that you can see and know and perceive, right? Focus on the benefits, not the claims. And that's why when we're talking to people, we're not asking them what your disease is. Please don't do that. Okay, don't ask for protocols, because when a protocol is given, it's like it's almost a prescription that a doctor may give you, right? So we don't use protocols anymore. We use the product brochures that LifeWave gives us. Where do we put our products? There are 5 or 6 different places that you can put them. Acupressure points that have been tested clinically so that we can use that technology. Some people in the beginning, even myself, I couldn't put a patch somewhere above my waist. It just would drive me crazy. My mind was not ready for that energy. And it took me a little time. It took me hours and days to be able to do it little by little till I was able to receive it. So anyhow, know your audience, know who you're talking to, ask a lot of questions. And better yet, use this. So God gave us stereo listening, but He gave us a monotone to speak. That means use this a little bit less, but use these a little bit more. So as you're gathering information from your client or your friends or your family, then you'll be able to give them better answers, right? So listen more, be more attentive to people, and they'll tell you everything because people love to talk, right, Vicky? I know I love to talk too. Use approved materials. And this is using approved materials, it'd be easy for you to share, right? When you use the LifeWay Now app, and go and check it to see if it's compliant, and you never have to worry about anything, right? When in doubt, check it out. How do you check it? Papa Google or Uncle Chat, right? And those are the ways to check it. It's very simple. Your voice matters, right? When we communicate with honesty and compliance, we build trust and we help more people experience LifeWave differences. So educate, empower, inspire, and transform people around you, because ultimately, the more people that you share this technology with, look, there might be people that you can share this, you've been sharing this technology for 5 years. As a matter of fact, our neighbor that I'm so glad that I was able to patch finally, took her 5 years to hear about this technology. Well, almost 5 years, because this July 17th or June 17th, either one of those days, is when we had our 5 year anniversaries coming. So we spoke to them so many years ago, and finally we get a chance to patch them. And the technology does its work. It does what it's intended to do, and we don't have to exaggerate. And that is so wonderful because the technology is so good for us. Together we can build better, a better future, right? Compliance is more than following a rule. It's about protecting our brand, our community, and our mission so we can do our work better, right? So the easier that we do it, the easier that we can make it for our clients, and it would duplicate. See, everything that we're saying right now is for a duplication process so that we don't have to reinvent the wheel. Everything's already created for us. All we have to do is follow that path. So compliance builds trust. And trust builds freedom, and freedom builds LifeWave. So I hope that you guys see that the commitment that we're giving to our channel and to our network and to our group is that we are going to be compliant. We're going to have as many questions that you wanted to have. We're here to help you, right? We're here. There's a compliance team. There's an email that I'm giving you right now. Is email at compliance@lifewave.com. They're there to help you. The resources, visit LifeWave virtual office and policies and procedures. At the end of this presentation, I'm going to show you some of them and your upline. Talk to your upline, ask them, be in communication with them. And as we shared on our last meeting, I believe before we left, was that we need to be in touch with our clients each and every day. Follow up everybody with them every day till they're sick of you, till they say, you know what, Ed, I put on my patch today, so you don't have to ask me anymore, and I feel great, right? That's what you want to do. So integrity is doing the right thing even when no one is watching. This is something that my grandmom used to say to me all the time. She said, even in a dark place, God's eyes are always on you. So be integral, be right, do the right things in your life, and things will happen good. So our commitment and our responsibility, and I'm almost done, is when we work together with integrity and follow compliances, we protect what matters the most, our mission, our brand, and the people that we serve. Because it's not about me. It's even not about you. It's about everybody else, right? When we think that way, when we have that focus, that our focus, like Brother Rick says, is on people, then there are better off than you thinking about yourself all the time. And I always tell Sister Vicky this, that it's not about the money that we make with LifeWave, it's about the lives that we're touching. And when we have that focus in mind that you were helping people, we're servant leadership, right? We're serving people. I remember even on last week when we were in Hawaii, one of our brand partners came in and she came in late as usual. And I was so ready because everybody had eaten and she didn't know where things were. And I was like, I'll get it for you. And she's like, you don't have to. I'm like, no, I want to, because that is just how I am. I love to serve, right? And as we serve people, you get the reward. So think about that. Thank you so much. And as we proceed, as we succeed, as we do this right, there is no problem with compliance because you are going to be doing things that are right. And compliance doesn't have to come calling on your door, right? So your commitment to compliance protects our brand. I said that again. And protect, follow, empower, inspire, and leave a legacy for people. This company is going in so many technology that is coming on in the horizon that I am so excited to be able to tell you that, the energy that is coming, the supplements, every year we're going to be given we have 7 years, guys, with X2O of different upgrades and different things that are going to be implemented into it that is going to blow your minds. And it's so incredible because David is not, it's already patented. Okay, so the things that he's got ahead of it, he won't show it to us until it's patented. And so it's protected for 15, 20 years or so. So as we make it different, the knowledge that we have is the power that we have in our hands. If we stay informed, we stay compliant, right? And our role and our mission, I'm going really quick because I want to end soon so I can take on some of your questions, is when each of us work with integrity and follow the standards, we move forward, right? That's the power of compliance. And if we're compliant today, we're compliant tomorrow, right? So thank you again for the commitment of staying compliant and learning about what the future can hold and the future that we have in front of our hands. And the growth and the support that we have together is going to empower this company to do greater things. And I wish that I made a video like this earlier, but we were kind of like left to do whatever we wanted to do. And we didn't have much responsibility. And I see it now as a leader that a lot of me is required. And so if it's required for me, I'm giving it to you so that you can see that it is also required for you. So when we're building better together, compliance leads the way. And as we build with our community, we can see the growth because we're not going to have to worry and look behind us to see if we're doing this right because it's going to come automatically with you, right? It's going to be a foundation of your business. And some of you guys might be, and I know there's some of you guys already watching this call and watching this video and saying, you make it sound like it's exciting. You know what? I got 3 marks on myself right now, and I'm not looking forward for compliance to call me. I'm not a sucker either, right? But I'm looking forward for our business to be compliant, our website to be compliant, everything that we share on our videos, and as they go and serve thousands of people because we might have 15 or 20 people in the call, but guess what, guys? Our YouTube channel has 5,000 subscribers right now. So our information is going out everywhere around the world. We have people in Indonesia, we have people in Japan, we have people in Canada, Mexico, all over the world watching our content and receiving from us. And as we're doing this together, we can keep the company compliant. So in closing, I want you to think about how you can inspire, how educate, and you empower people to do things. Compliant is the heart of everything we do, right? So if we protect our community, we can protect our brand, we can share the mission together. Okay. So this is this is the end. I'm gonna close through here the action to share tomorrow. I'm done with this. I just want to thank you guys for being on the call with us tonight. I have the bonus files that are coming on. I've seen a lot of you text saying that you guys want it, so we're going to send it to you. This is what some of the files look like with the QR codes, and more importantly, I love this ones. I'll spend a little time with this, sharing what the access of LifeWave Compliance social media guidelines are. You can scan it with the QR code and you can get those materials for yourself and for your brand partners. So they're here for you. We're going to be able to share them with you when we have a chance. And I'm going to stop this video and we can answer any questions that you may have. So thank you again for being on the call tonight. We bless you. We thank you. And till we see each other again, God bless and have a good night.